It's long been assumed that Wayne Williams is to blame for all the Atlanta child murders, but as he was emerging as the key suspect in the case, another set of suspects stayed almost entirely under the radar. Until now. In a story you'll only see here, we comb through thousands of pages to bring you a secret investigation into possible KKK involvement. Explain to us what we're looking at.
This is the official Missing and Murdered Children's Task Force file. These are approximately 30,000 pages.
Retired 11 Alive journalist Paul Crawley covered the case extensively as the nightmare unfolded, terrorizing Atlanta's black neighborhoods between 1979 to 1981. But there was a separate, top-secret investigation that was apparently withheld from the public because Atlanta was, quote, faced with an extremely explosive racial problem, end quote. The KKK investigation, which was referred to as the 8100 file, investigated claims suggesting the Ku Klux Klan could be responsible for the Atlanta child murders. According to the documents, the investigation lasted for 2 months and ended a month before Wayne Williams was considered a suspect. The 8100 file was not presented during the Wayne Williams trial. Former juror Clarice Flournoy Green helped convict Williams, who's serving a life sentence for the murder of 2 adult men.
How y'all doing?
He was linked to the child murders, but was never convicted.
Here you are, an Atlantan, and you're convicting an Atlantan, and a young black male at that.
She stands behind her decision based on the evidence that was available.
Do you feel if this was presented during that time that maybe it could have changed the hearts and minds of some of the jurors who were sitting in the courtroom with you?
It may have, depending on what's all in there, since we didn't get a chance to see it.
The operation includes weeks of physical surveillance, wiretaps on phone conversations, polygraph tests, and information from informants who knew the Klan members. The investigation closely focused on the death of 14-year-old Luby Jeter, outlining information that a Klan member was responsible for his murder. According to documents, the then GBI director, Phil Peters, asked for it to be kept a separate investigation, that if the investigation, quote, leaked out, it would possibly cause a race riot, end quote. Documents indicate that Klansmen were followed for weeks to find a link between them and victim Luby Jeter, who apparently came in contact with one of them after he bumped his go-kart on a Klan member's car. The informant stated that the Klansman was angered by that and, quote, admitted that he wanted to kill Jeter, end quote. Luby Jeter's body was found February 5th, 1981. Documents reveal the conversations that were monitored. The informant claimed a Klansman asked him to help on the child murders. He was given a polygraph test and passed. The source advised that the KKK was, quote, creating an uprising among the blacks, that they were killing the children, and that they are going to do one each month until things blow up, end quote. 2 months after the investigation started, the 8100 file says the Klansmen were brought in for questioning and given a polygraph test and passed. According to the documents, that's when the investigation was considered closed. Decades after the killing spree started, the debate of who did it still continues. Crawley says this story remains just as complicated as the day he started reporting on it.
It was pretty frightening for all of us because we knew that whoever it was out there watching everything we did and said, and that was pretty scary.
Moments after this report first aired, my phone rang.
What compelled you after all these years to come forward?
I'm getting ready to die. It's that simple.